Joining me now, psychotherapist Kelly Kidley. Life's too short to surround yourself with unhealthy people. So how do you recognize that in your friends?
A big indicator of that is the repeated patterns and being able to distance yourself and put boundaries in place, because people are triggering other people all day long and projecting a lot of their own insecurities.
Therapy, Kelly, can really help.
Either individual therapy, couples therapy, group therapy. There's so many options out there. And I love telling people we're not responsible for our first thought. It's the preceding thoughts that we're responsible for.
Oh, I like that.
So
why are people obsessed?
Oh my goodness, because it's escapism. It is tapping out of reality. And I think especially today, it's so important to unplug and recharge. Connection in and of itself is so good for our brain chemistry. And so when we're doing something that we feel like we can move and sing, it just really heightens the experience of connection with somebody. It's good for kids to be moving their body and dancing and singing, and they can connect with friends virtually. And I didn't know you were going to show that. That's my 8-year-old daughter and I. And my kids will die because they think I'm so cringy in my dance. But it helps us connect. Brain chemistry wise, it fires off endorphins and it releases dopamine. And so when we put on music, and whether we're good dancers or not, being able to move our body and just listen to the music can really help us be present. I have a teenager myself, and when I listen to him put music on in the shower and sing, and he loves Don't Stop Believin'. And he and I, when I hear it in the hallway, it brings back nostalgia for me too. And no matter what genre somebody's listening to, I do think we can connect across generations with music too. And our kids can introduce us to what's new and hip now, and we can introduce them to things that bring back really positive memories for us when we were younger. They do have such little outlets right now because they aren't able to engage with friends. So if it's over social media, if it's over TikTok, try to embrace it and look at the positive rather than the fear of, what is this doing for my child's mental health in a negative way? Because there are a lot of positive benefits. Really, the message is to embrace some of this that has become our new norm, and certainly monitor it. I mean, it's not healthy for anybody to do anything nonstop without a break for 8 hours a day, but really engage and look at some of the positive.
So how can viewers here set some goals that are realistic for the new year?
It's important to not look at behaviors and ways of thinking in all or nothing, or labeling it as good or bad. Set small, realistic goals so that we don't set ourselves up for failure. So, for example, if my overall goal is to be healthier, don't go into January saying, I'm giving up every sweet, I'm only eating fruits and vegetables, I'm going to work out every day. No, get outside, move your body, take each meal as it comes to set yourself up for success, rather than an expectation of I was either good or I was bad. Being able to work with people in community is so important so that you feel supported in your journey. And so it's really important to write things down. It holds you accountable and it helps you measure your success. And tell a friend or a partner or a sibling that you're on this journey so that they can support you. Or being outside, it's cold out, but the sun is shining, and just lift your face to the sun and feel that wind. That can really be a mood changer for people.
How can people try and stay hopeful around this holiday, whether they're in a relationship or not?
Great question. It's important for people to remember it is only a day or only a weekend. And certainly, as you guys were discussing about the weather, don't let it get you down. It's important to reframe and think about ways that you can engage in self-love. If you're not in a relationship, focus on taking care of yourself, or even getting outside of yourself and focus on showing gratitude for if it's your kids or a sibling. And that can really really be a focus of love as opposed to just focusing on a relationship. We have this idea in our mind from movies and other people's relationships or what they're posting on social media. And oftentimes it's this grandiose fantasy of being swept off your feet and getting roses delivered and eating chocolates in bed. And really, it doesn't look like that for some people. Maybe it does, but realizing that everybody's experience is different and trying to bring it back and put those blinders on and recognizing what's important to me. So if they're feeling a little blue during this weekend, to write down things that they love about themselves or ask somebody to give them words of affirmation. Having it written on paper can be so helpful in people actually seeing things. And then behaviorally, go out and buy yourself flowers, take a bath, bundle up and go for a walk. It can be such a mood changer just to get a little bit of outdoor time, even if it's just around the block.
Well, I was a binge drinker, and so I would go out and drink with friends. I met my husband at my parents' bar. Drinking was so normalized in my world, and I didn't know anybody who didn't drink. So it changed for me when I did have kids at home and I went from binge drinking to drinking every day just to manage. And I would switch my drinking. I thought, oh, it's the wine. That makes me too tired. I had read in People magazine that if I drank tequila, it would be an upper. So I started drinking tequila.
I believe that too. Is that wrong? Is that not
It
right?
worked. I got laundry done. I could stay up later. But the insanity of it, of trying to manage and control my drinking. And I didn't have a rock bottom moment. And I think that that's really important for people to hear, because my progression went from binge drinking to drinking every day. And I had a 6, a 4, a 2-year-old, and a 6-month-old at home. And today my kids are 12, 10, 8, and 6. And they celebrate my sober anniversary with me every year. And they make me a cake, and they sing happy anniversary, and they just say that they like mom better without alcohol. I think it's a culture that is really normalized in our society, but it can also carry over into gray area drinking or problematic drinking. And if people have a history of any kind of substance abuse in their family or mental health issues like anxiety or depression, it can be used as a coping mechanism.
We need to recharge, reset, unplug, and make sure we put our oxygen mask on first. We balance so many different things and spin so many plates in the air trying to manage just life on a daily basis. So having something to look forward to and being able to come back feeling refreshed is so important. It helps not only us, but it helps the people around us. In my practice, I work with a lot of high functioning people who are working 16-hour days, and this idea of self-importance of, I can't take the time, people need me, or I'm going to get behind, and recognizing you're not that important, and not putting that much pressure on yourself, that everybody deserves a vacation, and being able to carve that time out. It's great to be able to go away for a week or 2 weeks. That's really a luxury. But even if you can get away for a weekend, the benefits are so great.
We need to look at different ways that we express our love in our relationships, whether it's emotional intimacy or physical touch or quality time. But most people who are having great sex aren't really talking about that either, because it tends to be such a taboo topic. But especially if there's any dysfunction going on. And typically we think of dysfunction as male dysfunction, erectile dysfunction. But a lot of women experience sexual dysfunction as well. Low libido, difficult time having orgasm.
I think it's exhaustion. But what do you think? I think it's exhaustion.